Hunter x Hunter is the greatest anime of all time. There's no debate, no contest, no argument to be had. But I'm here to give you one anyway. Jahmar, it's pronounced HunterXHunter. No, the X is silent. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a fair warning. There's a lot of ways in this video.
Hey, yo.
Absolutely no pause. Because honestly, this show deserves it. Obviously, huge spoilers ahead. So if you haven't watched this amazing show and you care about spoilers, please go ahead and watch it and then come back once you're done. Without further ado, let's get into it. You can smile. I'm done. Okay, no, but I'm so serious when I say I genuinely don't listen to anime openings ever. I might give them a listen if it's a new one I'm starting or I want to see it for the first time, but other than that, I usually always skip them. However, Hunter x Hunter's opening gets a play every single time. From the very start of each episode, the theme just locks you in and makes you forget about all your other problems for at least 20 minutes. Well, at least it did for me. Granted, there are other phenomenal themes like Yu Yu Hakusho, Soul Eater, Tokyo Ghoul, Bluebird from Naruto, but none of them hit like Hunter's. Hunter also does an excellent job at having extremely fitting music at the perfect times during the show. Fight scenes, sad moments, mad scenes, whatever, and even cutting at times when necessary. Two perfect examples of this are Kurapika's theme during the Phantom Troop arc whenever he's engaged in a fight. Bro, do you hear this? Hello? Keep in mind, Kurapika was always a real nigga, but this song elevated him to a whole new level, right? Another great example of sound selection I want to point out is a scene where Gon is fighting Hisoka at Heaven's Arena, and he's getting his get back, the rematch. They actually cut out the music entirely. When I tell you the tension this created the first time I watched this fight, dog, this was one of the moments that made me sit up in my chair. I was like, hold on, I had to lock in. I was like, this is fire. Now, a lot of shows have different systems of power scaling, usually to explain how strong or weak a character is, and break it down for the audience. Jujutsu Kaisen has curse energy, Naruto has chakra, and Hunter x Hunter has Nen. In my opinion, Nen is one of the most consistent and logical systems of power in anime I've watched until this point, and I've heard a lot of people that have pretty much agreed with that same opinion. By definition, Nen is a powerful and versatile technique that allows individuals to manipulate their life energy, also known as aura. Users have a natural affinity towards one of the specific Nen types, which are enhancement, emission, manipulation, transmutation, conjuration, and specialization. In layman's terms, if you have no idea what I just said, use your life energy to give yourself a buff pretty much, and depending on what type of aura you have, you can develop specific abilities. An example of this is Gon, the main character. He's an enhancer, meaning he can power up his physical form and exert insane amounts of brute strength. I think the real charm of this power system is that it's super simple to understand, and when they introduce stronger characters, whether they're heroes, villains, whatever, neutral, they usually explain how strong they are through their Nen. And look, I didn't want to say anything, but I still don't understand JJK's power system. I get it, but not really. Honestly, once they introduced curse energy, my brain kind of just melted. Regardless, Nen is in my opinion, it's a super awesome power system, and its consistency and breakdown make the show really enjoyable to watch because you as a viewer, you always know how strong someone really is because you know how the system works. So when they present someone that's really strong, having a lot of aura, you understand it because you know how the system works. I'm gonna try really hard not to make this segment 2 hours long, which is gonna be a little bit difficult because almost every character in this show is amazing. Each character brings their own unique style to the show and has dynamics that really bring the anime to life. It makes you feel like the world is alive. For example, Kurapika, real quick, funny story. Okay, so I always pronounce his name as Kurapika. And literally all my friends would yell at me and be like, it's pronounced Kurapika. And bro, it just didn't make sense in my brain. It'll always be Kurapika in my head, but you know, I'm saying Kurapika for the sake of y'all niggas getting mad. But besides the point, Kurapika is one of the first characters that is introduced to the show, to the viewers, and instantly the story hooks you in because he seems like super sweet on the outside, but once you like mention anything relating to his clan or his eyes, it's like a switch activates and he becomes a dog. Nigga, I can't even hold you. Every time his eyes turn red, niggas got hype. And keep in mind, he's not even really a main character. Like, I mean, he's part of like the main group, but he's not a main character. They're really gonna kill him, but it's okay. Speaking of Gon, right? I think he's genuinely one of my favorite MCs. Cause Gon, he's presented as this like easygoing kid that cares deeply for his friends and simply wants to find his dad, right? Simple enough. However, throughout the show, when push comes to shove, it's shown multiple times throughout the anime that Gon can be extremely vulnerable and extremely mad if push past his limit. It adds a refreshing sense of realism that he's not like this perfect MC that is incapable of hurting people and refuses to feed into negative emotions. No, like he loses his shit too, and that's real. I'm sure most of us can relate, though not on the scale that he did. You know, if you know, you know. Regardless of his faults though, like he makes you want to root for him simply because he refuses to give up, and no matter how stubborn he may seem, he always pushes through. Last character I want to touch on is Meruem. I don't know why I said it like that. Now this character, in my opinion, is top 3. No debate. Simply because there's so much depth to him in his character development throughout his arc. He goes from this ruthless, cold-blooded killer that is willing to like murder his own comrades with ease, to a king begging someone that he used to deem beneath him just to see Kamugi. How do you say her name? Kamugi.
2,000 years later.
Kamugi. Just one more time. Like, that's crazy. When you're introduced to him, it feels like all hope is lost, and then by the end of the arc, you're crying for him and Kamugi, which is insane character development. Honestly, the transformation doesn't feel rushed, and his development makes him really one of my favorite anime quote-unquote villains ever. And again, I don't want the segment to be too long, so really quick honorable mentions to Netero, Killua, Hanzo, Nobunaga, and many others, because the list goes on and on for these great characters. Now, dishonorable mentions to this nigga here. Don't get things twisted, he's a dog in every fight. Like, I literally don't think we see him lose a fight the entire show. And his theme song?
Turn it up!
Perfection. But his character is ruined because he's kind of a PDF, so he loses all points like immediately. Like, all his stats are out the window. Also, lastly, dishonorable mention to this useless ass character. Bro, I don't know what it is, y'all, but Leorio has always been a cornball to me. Me and my friends have argued this point to death, but he just never hit like the others did. I seriously don't know why. Like, I deadass could make an entire video on how useless Leorio is. Like, listen to this. Do you know how trash his theme is? You can tell a nigga finna be weak when his theme song is whack. I'll say one thing that really drew me in and kept me locked in is that HunterXHunter has great balance and little to no filler. The plot moves forward with every single episode, and there's always some action happening. Just to remind you, these niggas really get down. They do this for real. Now, granted, I'm not arguing there has to be action every single episode in every show I'm watching, but even when the episodes were slower, there was always progression to the overall plot. It was kind of nice. It's an amazing balance that not a lot of shows can hit nowadays, as they're either overloaded with filler, focus entirely too much on action sequences, or move the plot forward too slow or way too fast. And I could name names, but let's not go there. Really, the arcs of HunterXHunter are also all amazing, which is insane. From the Hunter exam to the Chimera Ant arc, each one kept me hooked throughout the entirety, and I had to like fight myself to be like, just one more episode. Like, I wanted to watch another one and I had to go to sleep. There was so many nights like that, but it was great either way. Now I can already hear the argument being made that the Chimera Ant arc was fillered up, but honestly, I watched the show back a few weeks ago and it's really not that bad. I think people's attention span is just fried, because if you really look at it, the Ant arc isn't even that long. It's like 10 episodes before it starts to pick up speed. Like, and that's not that much to watch if you really think about it. And I'm always saying 10 because after P2 was born, everything is way more intense. Either way, Anarch is the only understandable mention of the show having quote-unquote filler or being slow. All I'm saying is 10 episodes of like semi-slow plot is rookie numbers compared to some of these other shows. Now, I'm painfully aware that this video was just a really big glaze-a-thon for HunterXHunter. Hey, yo. It's not funny. But hey, I warned you when the video started. Like, I literally have a tattoo from the show, y'all. Look at this. I've watched plenty of anime, and although I still have a lot more to see, HunterXHunter will always just sit at the top of the throne for me. It's an enjoyable watch all the way through, and even though it's technically unfinished, well, the anime, I would definitely like put it on like a must-see list if you just started watching or if you've been watching for a while. You need to have seen this show. Now, I want to also mention that I am anime only, so I haven't read the manga. So if you do comment, just avoid any spoilers in the comments, please. Let me know what you thought of this video, and honestly, feel free to put your top 5 anime in the list. And I'm genuinely curious to see you guys as number 1, because honestly, I mean, HunterXHunter will always be number 1, but like my top 5 is very close. Like they're all neck and neck as like really, really good shows. And maybe I'll make more videos on my other top 5. We'll see. I got nothing else to say, but I love each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Subscribe if you're new, and go watch HunterXHunter.